Sorry, but I don't agree that Year of Hell is Star Trek Voyager's best two-part episode. I understand why people like Star Trek Voyager's Year of Hell so much, but to me, it's never been the show's best episode. Year of Hell was Voyager's second two-part episode in Season 4 after Scorpion Part 2 kicked off the season. The episode featured an interesting premise that played with the nature of time travel and pushed Voyager's cast of characters to the limit as they struggled to keep the ship and themselves intact while enduring devastating attacks by the episode's villain, Anorax, Kurtwood Smith. On the surface, I can agree that Year of Hell had a lot going for it. The plot was ambitious, tying many threads together, and the episodes feature some of great acting and character arcs for the series, especially from characters like Captain Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, and Tuvok, Tim Russ. Additionally, the praise heaped on Anorax as one of Voyager's best villains is well-deserved. However, none of these change the fact that, in my opinion, Year of Hell is nowhere near Voyager's best two-part episode. Everyone loves Year of Hell, but it's not Star Trek Voyager's best two-part episode despite everything I've already discussed. Year of Hell has more cons than pros when looked at as a whole. The complicated time travel premise could be seen as convoluted in spots, and the second half of the episode dragged a bit after all the action that was packed into the first part. However, both of these things are a matter of opinion and subjects to interpretation. What is not a matter of opinion is Year of Hell's fairly egregious ending, which for me puts a damper on the entire episode. Year of Hell's ending is the worst use of the reset button in Voyager history, which is saying something given that the show often employed it. Captain Janeway resetting the timeline so that none of the events ever happened was arguably Voyager's laziest ending in one of its most iconic episodes. Hand-waving the conclusion to basically say it was all a dream is massively disappointing for an episode of Year of Hell's caliber, and to me, tanks the episode altogether. A bad ending can ruin even the best episodes, and luckily, Voyager had other two-parters with much more cohesive storylines. Which Star Trek Voyager two-parters are better than Year of Hell? Voyager had a lot of two-part episodes, and while not all of them hit the mark, many are better than Year of Hell. One of my personal favorites is the Season 3 two-parter Future's End, which I feel often doesn't get the love it deserves. Reminiscent of the plot of Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, Future's End featured Voyager's crew pulled back in time to 1990s Los Angeles to stop a corrupt billionaire from destroying the timeline with stolen future technology. The episode had some incredible guest stars and is one of the funniest, most entertaining storylines in any season. However, the episode that I feel is the pinnacle of Voyager's two-parters is Season 6's Equinox. The plot is just as brutal as Year of Hell, but more interesting with the addition of another Starfleet crew as its villains. Equinox is wonderfully suspenseful, with much of its premise devolving into classic Star Trek horror, and pushes Star Trek Voyager's crew to the limit in similar ways to Year of Hell. Likewise, Equinox has a much more cohesive narrative, sacrificing nothing in entertainment value from start to finish. When stood up against Year of Hell, it measures up better every time. Year of Hell, the two-part episode from Star Trek Voyager, is often celebrated as one of the series' finest examples of high-stakes drama, compelling character arcs, and strong storytelling. Its central premise, a temporal ship attempting to alter history for personal gain, leading to disastrous consequences, presents an engaging narrative. However, while Year of Hell remains an important and exciting installment of Voyager, I don't agree that it stands as the series' best two-part episode. There are several reasons why Year of Hell falls short in comparison to other notable two-parters from Voyager and even from Star Trek as a whole. These reasons revolve around the episode's missed potential, inconsistencies with the rest of the series, and how it compares to Voyager's other storylines, which dive deeper into emotional, thematic, and narrative complexity. First, let's start with the premise. The story is undeniably intriguing, offering a unique take on time travel and its potential for destruction, both personal and universal. The Krenim temporal weapon ship, piloted by Anorax, played by Kurtwood Smith, is a fascinating concept, allowing him to manipulate time in an attempt to erase events that led to the downfall of his civilization. As a result, the Voyager crew is caught in a nightmarish scenario of changing timelines, constant attacks, and the gradual dismantling of their ship and crew. It's an intense setup that raises the stakes to unprecedented levels for the series. However, much of the excitement and tension built up over the course of the 2 episodes ultimately feels diminished by its resolution. By the end of the second part, everything that transpired is undone with a temporal reset, erasing all of the hardships and sacrifices made by the crew over the 2-part arc. While temporal resets are nothing new in Star Trek, Year of Hell's reset feels particularly frustrating. For nearly 2 hours of television, the audience watches the crew endure immense suffering, their ship disintegrating, 7 of 9 becoming a key tactical officer, Tuvok losing his sight, and Janeway making the ultimate sacrifice. Yet, the reset wipes all of this away as if none of it ever happened. While some may argue that this is the point of the episode, to show the futility of temporal manipulation, the ending feels like a disservice to the investment that the audience has made in these characters and their struggles. Another aspect of Year of Hell that weakens its overall impact is its placement within the broader Voyager series. The episode was written with the original idea that Year of Hell would span an entire season, showing Voyager's slow degradation and the crew's struggle for survival. However, the idea was condensed into 2 episodes, meaning much of the deeper character development and long-term impact was lost. What could have been an exploration of Janeway's leadership under extreme duress, the crew's morale, and the shifting dynamics among the characters in the face of prolonged hardship ends up feeling rushed. The crew's emotional and psychological tolls are only briefly touched upon, when in a season-long arc, these elements could have been explored in greater depth, making the eventual resolution more poignant. In contrast, episodes like Scorpion or Equinox offer a more sustained and coherent exploration of their themes and character dynamics. Scorpion, which introduced 7 of 9 and dealt with Voyager's tenuous alliance with the Borg to defeat Species 8472, is a masterclass in tension and character development. It presents the crew with an impossible moral dilemma, allying with their most fearsome enemies to face an even greater threat. The moral and ethical stakes are far more complex and resonate throughout the series, as Voyager must deal with the consequences of its choices, especially regarding 7 of 9's integration into the crew. There's no temporal reset here to undo the events. The choices made in Scorpion have a lasting impact on the characters and the series as a whole. Similarly, Equinox is another example of a Voyager 2-parter that delves deeply into the moral gray areas of space exploration. The episode pits Janeway and her crew against the crew of the USS Equinox, a Federation ship that, like Voyager, was stranded in the Delta Quadrant. However, unlike Voyager, the Equinox crew chose survival at the cost of their ethics, committing atrocities in the name of returning home. The 2-part episode forces Janeway to confront her own dark side, exploring themes of power, survival, and the lengths to which one might go to protect their crew. The moral ambiguity and personal stakes of Equinox make it a standout, surpassing Year of Hell in terms of character exploration and thematic depth. Year of Hell also suffers from a lack of focus on Voyager's central journey, the quest to return home. While it's certainly an intense situation for the crew, the temporal crisis feels detached from the series' overarching narrative. In contrast, episodes like Dark Frontier and Endgame tie directly into Voyager's ultimate goal of reaching Earth, while also delving deeply into character backstories, particularly 7 of 9's. These episodes maintain the emotional and narrative momentum of the series, making their stakes feel more personal and relevant to the overall arc of Voyager.